Hello, my name is Sam DeLees. I do not know if this is backwards or not, but um, I hope this lighting is decent. And yeah, so I selected option number 2, as you can see, and here is my artistic vulva creation. And here's just a clear look. And yeah, so highlight the key components of the female vulva on your diagram. Well, I had to learn about the anatomy of the vulva before, because I am currently an EMT and anatomy was a huge part of our training or in education. So I was familiar with, man, I wish I could just, I don't know, but it's just harder backwards. But here's the outer labia, inner labia, the urethra, right here, here's inner, outer, and then here's a clitoris, and the clitoral hood, and then the hymen, and then the vagina. Hymen I was not super familiar with. I was familiar with the inner, outer, and the urethra, and the clitoris, and the clitoral hood. But the hymen, I never seen that name, and I just wasn't super familiar with it. I drew some pubic hair because, you know, be a little more realistic. I think most people have their hair, and yeah, so I colored skin, try to coordinate with the colors too through a diagram I saw, just to make it more, I think, appealing, you can say. Yeah, it looks a little more realistic, I guess you could say. Drawing wise, I'm not a great drawer, but yeah. And so let's see. So our cultural practices symbolic. Oh, so our cultural practices. Sorry, there's people in the other room. Symbolic. The word is so hard. It's always a tongue twister. Clitorissectomies, symbolic clitorissectomies on females through, staying quiet, right, and not talking about it enough about female sexuality, and this leads to, obviously, symbolic purgatory, where women lack understanding and and confidence in their own bodies and desires, and through I, through I guess acknowledgement and education and actually talking about it, and empowering women, that can be a way of kind of breaking it, or breaking the cycle, rather, right? And yeah, discuss any anxiety, discomfort you experience with this project. Tell us about what we learned, explain these things. Well, discomfort, honestly, I was not super uncomfortable making this, because I have made this a handful of times, and I have, been on calls, working on the ambulance, where, I've never been on a birth call. I never had to see a live birth, but we've had calls where people in their, I'll say it's the private area, they have some sort of infection, or it's hurting even. I've had some really funky calls where, we gotta open them up and take a look ourselves before sending them to the hospital, so we can give the ER, paint the ER picture on what we see and what's going on, and give them vitals and what they're feeling. Yeah. Let's see. But an anxiety, discomfort, no, I don't mean that of like ego. It's just like I've just seen just about everything, it feels like. Well, try to explain the feelings. I guess from, well, what the reading talks about. Honestly, the reading is really interesting because it made many points that I've never thought of. And there were multiple points I never thought of because I never knew you can talk so much about just the clitoris and what it means in the vagina. So that, I guess I was thrown off by that. By looking more into it, not to say sentimentally, but meaning-wise, symbolism. Yeah, and I found that super interesting. It definitely opened up my eyes and gave me a new perspective on, hey, it's not just a body part or body parts. And yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I really did. Like, it was just something I really never thought about, and it really just opened my eyes. Yeah, it's something that I never thought I would be learning about or thinking about, but yeah, I was really happy to to be involved with this because I found it pretty fascinating, everything about the reading and this whole option 2 assignment project. I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry. Thank you.